The Scarlet Coast is the second area you get to explore in Witchfire. This area is full of choke points and ambush spots to be careful about, but most of these areas can be dealt with or avoided outright if you are clever. Here are 5 tips for effective engagement on the Scarlet Coast. But stay to the end because I'm also going to give you a couple bonus tips that should be useful on any map when you play Witchfire. Perhaps the most obvious feature of the Scarlet Coast map is this giant rock that divides the map in half. It's actually possible in several locations to climb up on top of the rock, allowing you to avoid danger while engaging enemies with long-range weapons. Here are spots on the map that are easy to climb up to get to the top of the rock face. It would be a good idea to plan a route that includes getting on top of this rock. 2. Scarlet Coast has several areas with dense woods. These areas are dark, and it can be very difficult to see enemies as they hide behind trees and shoot muskets and arrows. It's best to avoid these areas entirely or to pass through them very quickly. Maybe hugging the edge of the rocks can help you avoid being surrounded, and sprinting past enemies lets you avoid having enemies at your back. You might be annoyed by this suggestion since it requires you use longer range weapons, but you can feel free to jump in with your shotgun blazing, but every time you run into a pack to engage it, you often end up surrounded, and that's bad. 3. Know where the itinerant portal is at all times, for 2 reasons. The first reason is because it's your extraction point, and if things go poorly, your best bet is to try and open that portal to escape with your Witchfire. And B, to know where the hunting enemies are spawning from. Every once in a while you'll get a notification that says the itinerant portal spews something out. Those are those enemies with the little symbols above their heads. They are chasing after you. They're looking for you. And so they can show up at any time and anywhere as they run around the map trying to ambush you. This is important because of what I just recommended, which is sprinting past packs or approaching packs from a distance to avoid being surrounded. If the portal is behind you, you could end up pinned between 2 groups of enemies. Not only that, but the drowned captain is a huge pain to deal with if he shows up while you are dealing with a group of enemies. 4. Look for high vantage points with cover. Most of the zones of engagement have elevated vantage points that you can take advantage of. Even better if they have a rock or a tree to step behind to reload and avoid enemy fire. 5. Don't forget about the portal you started at. Sometimes you just know you're not going to make it to the extraction point. Maybe a couple engagements went poorly and you've got no more health potions and you're almost dead. It can be a good tactic to retreat back to where you started and try again. You don't lose anything by extracting early. Okay, here are a couple more tips for Scarlet Coast, or secrets I should say. One of those is a hidden, or not a hidden wall, but a wall that you can remove with volatile Witchfire. This is then a path that you can open up for yourself. You have to open it every time, but it leads to this kind of starting point. And if you start here, this is actually a really nice way to get to the boss area easily and quickly. So you can just open it from this side, and then you can just run right in and fight the boss. The other secret in this area is this wall. Now, this won't activate or disappear until you get to Gnosis 3, but this is a vault that you can explore, and it's not on the map, but it's full of really dangerous enemies, and there's like a vault guardian at the end that you have to fight. It's basically like a fancy one of those flying enemies. What I can't remember what they're called. Anyway, shoots poison at you, and kind of annoying to deal with. But yeah, that's just another cool area to explore, and there's some stuff for you to grab at the end. I don't think that there's anything particularly amazing about this area. Oh, we're trapped in. Oh, never mind. That's just an illusion wall. Okay, the last thing I wanted to share about is these white raven feathers. So you get these white raven feathers sometimes out of chests, and so right now I have 4. So you can do 2 different things with the white raven feathers. you can reveal or unveil these unknown options, but you can also just grab other things. So like if I wanted phantom bullets, I could spend white raven feathers and I would have that as well. Oh, okay. So that significantly increases the chance. So that actually was an extra thing that I just did. This is a prophecy that you can find. So it removed the more stamina and the firearm mastery. That's not super amazing. But anyway, at any point in the run, you can open up your Arcana tab, and if you have some of these white raven feathers, you can either unveil new ones or even add ones to your thing. Oh, interesting. So it deleted that, but it gave me another point to spend on that. Interesting. Anyway, that's just something, another tip for you. I didn't realize that the game doesn't really explain that very well, so I thought that would be a good thing to share. Okay, let's try this again now, but so we have these prophecies. So if you increase the power of the awakened arcana, but forgets 2 random. So if we were to take firearm mastery, we would lose 2 of these. Let's try this one and see. Awakened Arcana gets a powerful boost that decreases with 4 absorbed Witchfire manifestations and disappears with 6. So we have 3. If we got the 4th one, this would be less powerful. Let's see what happens when we take this. Okay, so we get a temporary health increase of 150 instead of just the 50%. Let's try a revealing one. I don't see how you can re-roll them. Increase strafe speed while aiming down sight. So yeah, anyway, those are interesting to check out. And if you find these prophecies, they correspond with these different areas. So, okay. And one final tip for you, a little bonus here, is to pay close attention to the map, the little like radar map in the lower left-hand corner of the screen. I've played for an embarrassingly long amount of time before I realized that was telling me all kinds of useful stuff, like where enemies are, but also where chests are and other various resources that you should be aware of. So let's go and find an area that might have like a chest or something, so you can kind of see what that looks like. So yeah, you can see that triangle there, that is an event, right? They show up as a dangerous area on your mini map, or not on your mini map, on your regular map, I should say. There's another one. So it's kind of like, it could be a dangerous area or one of these things. What are they called? Another dangerous area, just a different type of dangerous area. These are great, by the way. They can sometimes give you 3rd Mysterium incantations. I think that's only at the Iron Gate Castle though, on Gnosis 3. So that's good to know. Let's go see what an ammo cache looks like. I believe it's a plus sign on the map. So you can see, like on the edge of the map, you can see where there are enemies that you can try to avoid, or maybe you don't want to avoid them. Maybe you want to go and attack them. It's up to you. Ha! Got him. Yeah, there's a tip for you. Use the stuff around you to your advantage. The explodey traps can be used against enemies as well. Let's go fast reload. Okay. That is a fast reload. Do you see how fast that was? All right, so then yeah, they show up as little plus symbols on the map, but a lot of times you can find things that aren't on your big map. Like you don't necessarily have them show up there, but they will like hidden chests, or like the supply chests that are littered around. Like you don't see them. They don't show up on this map, but they will show up on the little mini map. Like that dot there means something is over here. Yeah, a chest. So dots mean a chest, I guess. Oh, there's another one. See? Anyway, pay attention to that little mini map in the corner. That's gonna do it for the Scarlet Coast tips. If there are any special tips that you think are useful to know, please leave them in the comments below. I really appreciate all of the kind words from you guys and comments that you send. So we'll see you in the next one. Take it easy.